Whether new shooter, longtime gun owner, or even police officer or soldier, your handgun needs a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Crimson Trace.
Broadcasting nationwide, this is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. Your views, advice, and questions are the driving force of Gun Talk. Call Tom now at 866-TALK-GUN. That's 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Or reach out to us via email at tom@guntalk.com. Let us know what you think about the gun-related issues of the day. Now, here's Tom Gresham.
Hey, we've got a new DVD just out on concealed carry, and this week I had a chance to talk with the guys, the trainers that we used on that. It's always fun to talk about training, and because, of course, I'm a big proponent of training, and two of the guys that we really like to work with are Greg Lapin, Destin Mounts, VATA Group. I mean, you guys have been pretty much all over the world. You train all over the place. You trained with top people. You have trained the top people, and we're talking about a lot of three-letter group people. How you doing, guys?
Not bad at all. How are you? How you doing, Tom?
Well, we are great, and it's, we've got the Concealed Carry 2 DVD out as of right now over at shopguntalk.com. And you guys, when we originally started talking about doing a DVD on Concealed Carry, you're the ones that said, you can't do it in one. We're going to need at least two. Why did you take that position? Why do we need two?
There's more to carrying a firearm for defensive purposes than just knowing how to shoot. And there's a lot of people that are out there that do the fundamentals of marksmanship and can teach marksmanship and shooting very well. But when it comes down to all the nuances and actually using that firearm as a fighting tool, there's a lot to cover.
No, just to mention just the mindset of it's no longer necessarily for sport or just to get out. It's actually home protection, self-protection. So it's actually learning how to employ the weapon in that fashion, which is a totally different facet of shooting altogether.
Would it be fair to say that just regular old marksmanship, you need that, but that's really not even the most important part of what you need to know for concealed carry?
Absolutely. It all starts with marksmanship. It all starts with the basic building blocks, fundamentals of marksmanship. You have to know those fundamentals. You have to be able to accurately hit a target before you can move on. The least important part of the equation for me is the actual tool, the firearm, the gun. The most important part is the mindset and the aggressiveness, the ability to actually fight.
Yeah, and I'd have to say, too, that the fundamentals for me are very pivotal because when you're on the range, you have all day to think about front sight focus, smooth trigger press, recoil management, but under stress, the only thing you have to rely on is your training, and that training is going to be trying to master the fundamentals. So fundamentals are the building block to anything firearm related, but even more so, I feel, with concealed carry.
Okay, so you got to lock in the fundamentals. You have to have, grip, trigger manipulation, sights. You have to know how to shoot. Now, the question is, how do you go from that to speeding it up and being able to do it under stress? Short of going and getting into gunfights, how do you get ready for this?
You come out and see people like us, and not necessarily just us. There are a lot of people out there that are very experienced and very good at what they do, that have a lot of real-world experience under their belt as far as being in gunfights. But that's the only way to do it. You don't even do it. You don't even get it all from watching a DVD, and you certainly don't get it on the internet and reading. You have to go see someone who has been there, done that, trained, and knows what to look at, and knows how to get the performance out of you and correct you.
Munitions is a huge tool as far as going to schoolhouses that have that training aid and been able to feel the pain penalty and actually feel what it feels like to have somebody shooting back at you, because it totally changes the dynamic. We live in a one-dimensional world of shooting on a flat range, shooting a paper or a cardboard target. But now you add that target moving, shooting back at you, feeling the impact of the round. That will definitely amp up the training level. Well,
it's funny you mentioned the munitions because we, as of today, we are as we're talking, we just released the first season of First Person Defender, where you guys took people and put them into munition situations, force-on-force training, and I ended up creating, after we heard it over and over and over again, I created an acronym. I called it INTOT, I-N-T-O-T. Every time what we heard was, I never thought of that. I bet you guys hear that all the time.
Sure. And that's just one thing that simulation has opened up the training world so much, because it gives you that ability to put the student in that real-world situation. And short of them having to go to the hospital after it, it can't really get any more real than that.
It's your basic stress inoculation If you take your average Joe off the street and tell them we're going to put you in a boxing ring with gloves on and headgear, they're going to be terrified. And their knees are going to be shaking, and they're going to be shaking, their heart's going to be racing. But now you teach them how to box a little bit. You let them spar with a trainer or someone who really knows how to spar with them and go easy. Next thing you know, they're not scared to get into a fight. And it's the same thing with firearms. We teach you how to shoot. We then teach you how to fight. Then we start to stress inoculate you to actually being in a gunfight through force-on-force training.
You said something interesting. You said you can't learn this from watching a DVD. And I know people are going to say, well, but you're putting out a DVD and you're asking us to buy the DVD. And I'm thinking, well, you're exactly right. You really can't learn this on a DVD. But what you can get from it is, number one, it's that old, you don't know what you don't know. So let us show you what it is you don't know yet. But the other thing is to get the brain started, because a lot of people haven't gone there mentally yet. Is that fair?
Absolutely, 100%. I got into a funny conversation a while back, and before my first real-world gunfight, and I'm not talking about shooting, I'm not talking about a shooting, I'm talking about where I was trading bullets with bad guys. That's a gunfight. My first real gunfight, I had been in hundreds of them before that, sitting on the toilet, in the shower. You rehearse these things in your mind, and you think about what if, and you put yourself in real situations, and, well, what if this happened? I had been in 100 gunfights before my first real one, because you think about it. And that's kind of where the DVD starts you. People are going to watch the DVD, and the light bulb is going to click, and they go, wow, I've never, ever seen that before. And that's just, but that's what we're showing you is the realities of what might happen.
And for those of you wondering, you don't have to watch Greg sitting on the toilet on the DVD. We actually edited it.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, we had a number of people write us after they watched the first-person offender videos. And one that I remember is a guy said, you probably saved my wife's life or maybe my daughter's life because she had a carry permit and she used to carry and then she stopped. And then after watching all the videos, she said, I probably ought to start carrying again. So she did. And he said it was like a week or two later, she's out in the front yard, got the kids out there, and a pit bull comes and starts chasing their daughter, little girl, and said wife just pulled out her pistol and just smoked that dog right there in the front yard. And you go, yeah, that's the whole deal. And it wasn't that you guys trained her to shoot with this. You trained her to think. And that may be the real deal there.
Right. And, there's nothing more rewarding than hearing stuff like that, because you got football players and baseball players and coaches, Friday night they win the big game, everybody goes home. But it's different in the line of work that we do because it is a life or death situation. When you carry concealed, you're doing it for one purpose, to protect yourself, your loved ones, and to prevent harm from coming to you. So if you get to the point after all your training and you do have to draw that weapon to use it, it's go time at that point.
Exactly. Hey, guys, hold on a second. I want to take a quick break, and we're coming back. We're talking with Destin Mounts and Greg Lapin from VATA Group, VATA Group. They are the guys on the Concealed Carry 2 DVD, which just came out, as well as the First Person Offender Series 1 DVD. Those are available at shopguntalk.com. We'll be right back with more Gun Talk.
The Ruger LC9S, a striker-fired version of the award-winning Ruger LC9 pistol, has a short, light, crisp trigger pull for faster, more accurate shooting. It's just slightly larger than the incredibly compact LCP and provides personal protection in a slim, lightweight, concealable handgun. It also fits all existing LC9 accessories, including lasers, holsters, and extended 9-round magazine. The Ruger LC9S, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
The XDM 3.8 Compact from Springfield Armory is 2 guns in 1. Use as your concealed carry gun with a compact magazine and use the extended magazine for home defense. Carry 13 rounds of 9mm in the compact magazine and a whopping 19 rounds in the extended magazine. To see the entire family of Springfield Armory XDM pistols, go to SpringfieldArmory.com. That's SpringfieldArmory.com.
You already know Liberty Safes are great values. Now they're offering an even sweeter deal for Gun Talk listeners. At LibertySafe.com, click on the Fat Boy Safe and type in Tom. Liberty will give you up to $250 off your purchase. Protect the things you value most. LibertySafe.com, click the Fat Boy Safe, promo code Tom, save up to $250. That's LibertySafe.com. LibertySafe.com.
All right, we're talking with Destin Mounts, Greg Lapin from VATA Group. Guys, how can people find out more about VATA Group?
You can go to our website, VATAtrainingcenter.com. We also have a Facebook page, Vulnerability Assessment and Threat Analysis. That's why we call it VATA. It's a mouthful, but you'll be able to find us shortly. Check us out on Facebook and our website.
Okay, sounds good. Now, I guess maybe we ought to at least, people say, okay, well, who are these guys? Can you give them at least a little bit of your background? I know you guys have got some classified stuff back there, but what you can talk about. Tell them what you guys have done and kind of why they should pay attention to you.
I started my career in law enforcement. I was a police officer and then worked, as a patrol officer, driving around, enforcing the law, yada, yada. And then I moved into a special investigative unit where we did lots of warrant service and other high-risk, violent felon narcotics enforcement. From there, I went to work for the U.S. State Department doing their high-threat protection overseas in war zones. And from there, I went to work for a U.S. government agency on a classified program. Did that for several years and then entered the training realm as an instructor.
I joined the Marine Corps when I was 17, Tom. Decided that infantry wasn't hard enough, so I went and became a Force Reconnaissance Marine. Got out in 2004, so I did that for about almost 10 years. Joined Dying Corps, went right over to Baghdad, did 3 years over there working for the State Department, similar to what Greg was doing high-threat protection for all of our government officials. Got out of that, did some more training back in the States, trained the guys to go over to do the same job I was doing, and some of the other same agencies that Greg was working for, the 3 letter agencies, was able to do some anti-piracy out in the Gulf of Aden, securing our U.S. vessels going over from Cairo to the Middle East. Mm-hmm. And then just been doing some odd training jobs ever since. Just always, firearm-based, security-based jobs.
And having worked with you guys for several years, I can just tell everybody, you guys can shoot. I mean, you know all the rest of it, but when you need bullets put on target, you can do it.
I only do 2 things well, Tom, in this life, and it's shooting and everything else. So other than that, that's about all I can do.
And he's very modest.
I've noticed that. That's right. Question for you. The FBI recently came out with a report that said that the 9mm is just as good as the 40 and 45. And I immediately thought of you guys because when I see you, generally you're carrying 9mm.
How many years have we been saying that for, Tom?
You have been saying that as long as I've known you.
It took the FBI hundreds of thousands of dollars in research and years to come up with that.
With the technology and the development of the rounds that they're coming out with now, the foot-pounds of energy it displaces on impact, as far as the round capacity, the minimized recoil, I will always take a 9mm, and especially for our line of work. We have to look at availability worldwide. Mm-hmm. So if you get used to shooting a certain caliber and you carry it for self-defense, when we go and deploy overseas, that's the most prominent pistol round out there. So if we ever have to battlefield recover anything, it's ready and available.
Well, it's funny. You guys know that I love the 1911, shot it forever, love the 45, and yet when I look at it and say, okay, with a 9, if I want to go to a smaller gun, the 9 lets me go to a smaller gun. If I want to carry more ammo, the 9 lets me carry more ammo. And all the stats of what it takes to stop an attacker, there's essentially no statistical difference between the two. So why not have either smaller or more ammo?
Right, absolutely. And you know what really makes projectiles effective is velocity.
More of them.
Yeah, more of them. But velocity, and that's what makes rifle projectiles so effective, because they travel at an extremely high velocity. The 9mm, as far as pistol rounds go, pretty much has a higher velocity than your 40 S&W, your 45, your 38. So it creates a pretty good wound cavity.
And being a jarhead, we carried the 45s, and that was the only weapon that we really carried besides the Beretta for a short while. But my attitude is, if you go to the range and there's anybody on the range that's a diehard 45 fan, I give them the story or the scenario of, you come home to your house and you know that somebody's inside the house and your wife and kids are in there, and you got a table out front, and you got a 45 loaded capacity
with 7 rounds,
and you have a Glock 19 or Glock 17 loaded
with 15 or 17 rounds,
and it's like that's the only weapon you have, and that's the only magazine you have, and you have to make entry. And every guy will say, you know what, I'll go with capacity over what they consider knockdown power, because you don't know how many suspects are inside the house. You can shoot somebody with a 45 or a 9mm one time, and that is not the end-all, be-all. It's round placement and rapid rounds.
And simply put, more people can control the 9 than can control the 45.
Especially under stress. It's again, putting it back into that real-world scenario when everything goes wrong, how you can make everything become right. And that's just basically falling on your training. All
right, so on the Concealed Carry 2 DVD, you guys did a little bit more advanced, and we're not talking about making people super secret agents or anything, but shooting from inside a vehicle, shooting from outside into a vehicle, shooting through doors, shooting from different positions. The obvious question is, people are going to say, well, why do I need to know that stuff?
We get in a car and we drive every day. A lot of crimes occur around vehicles, carjackings, armed robberies, things of that nature. Statistics, if you look at statistics in close quarters, defensive confrontations, whether it's with my phrase, with a knife, a pipe, a rock, a brick, a bat, a hammer, a gun, and, you're going to get injured. That's pretty much the long and short of it. You're going to get injured. And statistics show that in close quarters gunfights, 70% of injuries occur to the hands and forearms. So we do some one-handed manipulation, both strong hand only and support hand only manipulation. If you do get injured, how do you keep the gun running, and how do you kekeep fighting with only one good arm? And
there's a good chance you're going to end up on the ground, so you're teaching people how to shoot from various positions on the ground.
Right, exactly. And we're again, it goes back to Tom, and you know how we feel about this. It goes to fighting. This really doesn't have a whole lot to do with shooting. It has to do with fighting. If everyone loves watching UFC nowadays. And if a pro boxer went into the UFC ring, he would get destroyed because he doesn't have any other skill set. He doesn't know what to do when a wrestler shoots in and takes him to the ground, or a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy takes him to the ground. So you have to have multiple different skills to be able to actually fight with the tool that you're carrying on your hip.
Under stress, the body's natural reaction to find anything for cover. It could be a small little tree or a curb. You're naturally going to find this and try to get behind it naturally to stop whatever's coming at you from hitting you. So getting yourself in those unconventional, uncomfortable positions, if you can effectively shoot from those, then your square range, natural fighting stance, isosceles grip stance is just going to be super easy. So shooting one-handed on the ground on your back, rolled over, if you can hit your target with that, then you're way ahead of the game.
And I noticed when we're doing the DVD, you guys made the point many, many times. Said, look, don't go out and do this on your own. You really do need to get with a good instructor who can keep you from doing something unsafe. Because when you're getting down on the ground and getting back up, really got to have good muzzle control, good trigger finger control, all of that. You really need an instructor to be watching you when you first learn this, right?
Yeah, you absolutely have to. And unfortunately, we cannot view ourselves from outside our body.
But that's why you have this instructor. You've got this extra set of eyes out there.
Yeah, you have to have someone watching what you're doing, because a lot of times what we feel like we're doing, we're not necessarily doing. We can't view ourselves. You have to have someone trained to watch. All right, here, straighten this leg or straighten this arm or roll over more, and that's why you've got to go get reputable instruction.
And we even advocate too, if you have a blue gun or even a toy gun, best case scenario too, if you're on the range and you 100% unload your primary weapon system, get watch the DVD, memorize it best you can, and then go out there and execute these things dry fire only, and try to get into these positions numerous times until you feel comfortable. Because getting into the position is the hardest part. Pulling the triggers is relatively easy once you get there. So just getting into the position and getting out of it is the main practice. And I recommend doing that dry fire with or without an instructor many times before you try to go live.
Right. And big believers in the blue gun, the dummy gun, because you can do an awful lot of quote-unquote manipulation with that inside your house or wherever with no risk to you or anyone else.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate of that.
All right, well, so the Conceal Carry 2 DVD is out. The first season of First Person Defender is out. So what's in store for VATA Group? What are you guys doing?
We are trucking along. We are running classes every month. Both are open enrollment classes for law-abiding civilians to come on out and learn the art of gunfighting. And that's what we teach from the ground up. You don't have to have any firearms experience. You can come on out and we will teach you. We have a host of courses from, our pistol courses to our rifle carbine courses, shotgun, home defense courses, where we kind of teach home defense and room clearing, how to defend your room, how to move through the house to recover your family. We do active shooter seminars. We do unarmed combatives training to how to actually fight if you don't have a gun or if you need to use your gun as an impact weapon. We do combat trauma training to where if you or a loved one gets shot or injured, how do you keep that person stable before you can get to definitive care? Check out our calendar at VATAtrainingcenter.com. We've got classes coming up a ton. We do law enforcement training, military training. That's what we enjoy. We're passionate about it.
And that's in South Louisiana, just a little bit north of New Orleans, right?
Correct. Yeah, we have a home range north of New Orleans, about 30 minutes outside of New Orleans. So you can come down for a vacation party down on Bourbon Street and come out and take a class with us. Of course, not hungover or intoxicated. And then we also do our mobile training. We travel around the country to private groups and law enforcement and military clients.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys at the SHOT Show, and I am delighted to have these DVDs out. I know the people are going to really enjoy them. And for those who are considering it, these would be great Christmas presents for yourself or for other people in your family.
Yeah, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your cousin, your second cousin, your limo driver, your dog walker. You grandma, you should buy them for everybody.
There you go. I like it. All right, guys, we'll see you guys in Las Vegas. Greg and Destin from VATA Group. Check it out on shopguntalk.com. You can get the DVDs there. We'll see you guys in just a few weeks.
Thanks, Tom.
See you, buddy.
All righty. It was always fun talking with Greg and Destin. Talk about sharp guys. If it sounded a little bit funny, it's because they're over there somewhere. That's kind of what they do. They go over there and do stuff. They're the real deal. Check it out, shopguntalk.com, and you can pick up the DVD. Actually, you can get some combo deals right now, special deals on shopguntalk.com. All right, when we come back, we'll take your calls. 866-TALK-GUN, looking for range reports. What are you shooting? What are you liking? And what do you really hate?
Tom Gresham's Gun Talk is broadcast nationwide every Sunday. If you can't hear Gun Talk where you live, call your local talk format station and clue them in on Gun Talk. Stay tuned. We're coming right back. Now broadcasting nationwide on radio, via satellite, and through downloads, iTunes, the Gun Talk app, and other podcast clients. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
This is such a bad idea. During the break, I'm going on the web, but I'm looking up information on our next guest. I'm going, this is just awful. I hate this because this is going to cost me money. It may cost you money, too. Let me welcome in Rob Werkmeister from Ruger. Rob, I went to the website, and I'm looking at this. This is like the coolest thing that Ruger has done in a long time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Tom. Thanks for having me, and thanks for saying that. You know us at Ruger, we always like to stay focused on being innovative, both with our products and our ways to go to market and reach out to our customers. Okay,
so you call this the RED program, the Ruger Exclusives Direct, and I'm looking on it right now on the Ruger.com website. And you've got two LCPs, one in purple, one in blue, and it says you're only going to make 500 of each, and it's like time to purchase. It's got a countdown clock going. What's that all about?
So what we've done is, through our Voice of the Customer program that we do to gather input both on, the products we make and how we go to market with them, we hear a lot from our customer base that they see these cool, distributor exclusives or custom makeups that they can't get at their local retailer. Mm-hmm. So Mike Pfeiffer, Chris Colloid, tasked both the sales and marketing organization and said, let's see if we could bring these products straight to our customer base by telling them, hey, there's 500 of these available, and this is the way you can go get them by just going on our website, and we link them up with Gallery Guns to get there. often these guns will make 500 or 1,000 of these special guns of our most popular products, and most consumers can't get them.
So I'm looking, what we're looking at right now is a purple and a blue LCP. They are, the slide is iridescent color. It's very cool looking. And it's in only 500 units. And if I click on this one, hold on here, it says 199 purchase, 301 still available, time left to purchase, 2 days, 17 hours, 23 minutes, and 48, 47, 46 seconds. So at the end of that time, it's done, huh?
That's it. It's done. A short window to try it. What we tried to do was say, we're doing a bunch of different tests right now. And as you've seen, we've all seen in the industry how the market's changed. We have a lot of new shooters. We have a lot more people participating in shooting sports and hunting, which is wonderful. And some of these consumers want to buy, and they want to buy in different manners. We thought, if we put a time clock on us and said, hey, this is an exclusive, we're going to get the collectors, we're going to get the new shooters, we're going to get everyone who's excited about this. So that's right. This thing runs out on Tuesday, so there's only 2 days left to get yours, and then this goes away.
It is a fabulous idea. Now, when you buy it, I guess we ought to go through the details, because, we've had the guys from Gallery of Guns on here a number of times, but to cover that base, this is not going to be shipped to your door. It gets shipped to your local gun store.
Yeah, that's correct. And one of the things we wanted to do is we still want to drive, we're probably in the industry one of the best with, being channel loyal. We sell to distributors, and our distributors sell to retailers. And we're supporting that retailer, but we're doing so in a way that the consumer really can get what they want. So this goes to your local retailer. You come on our website at Ruger.com/red. You find which gun you want, and you go ahead and buy it. And when you do that, you're selecting a retailer near you that you want the gun sent to. Davidson's will then ship it to that retailer, and you'll be able to pick it up.
Okay, and the important part here, or at least one of the important parts, is the local retailer makes money on this deal, not just the transfer fee, but they're actually making money on the sale of the gun too.
Correct. This is like a standard gun. This was as if they had already pre-purchased the gun from Davidson's and had it in their retail location. It's treated just like that. The problem we have with using that more traditional model is these 1,000 guns, 500 of the purple and 500 of the blue, never would have made it to your local retailer. Potentially, it may have gone to a different retailer, and you may have never seen it. So this is how we ensure it gets to your retailer.
Okay, so, and also, frankly, particularly a small retailer, it can't stock everything. But in this case, your local retailer you work with has access to everything that Ruger has. Correct.
Well, especially in this case. So in these two guns, they have that case. We still encourage all the local retailers to stock our main line. But we're trying to address the fact that we make some really cool products, with the LCP, with the 1022. We make some really cool but limited run products that our consumers want to get, and we get a ton of feedback from them saying, hey, I saw that gun, but I can't get it. We always try to communicate to them how they can, and this is just one way to make that happen quickly. Well,
I would encourage anybody who's hearing this to immediately go over to Ruger.com/red. Is that it? Ruger.com/red?
That is correct.
Okay, and you have to see these. We've all seen LCP. It's a black gun and blah, blah, blah. These things are gorgeous. They have a purple or a blue polymer frame and then a PCB, some kind of a coating that's just
PVD finish on it. So PVD. It really gives it, a nice high level of shine to it and great color to it. We also mark these special on top of the slide with LCP on top of that, which is fairly unique as well.
Now, okay, so we're doing the LCPs now. What else is in the lineup?
Well, I'll tell you this. This is one of many initiatives we've undertaken in the past couple of weeks, and you'll see happening over the next 2 or 3 weeks, where we're trying to help our consumer base get to our products. So there'll be more red coming in the future. There'll be a couple more things, a couple of marketing tricks we get up our sleeve, as we get towards the holiday season that hopefully our consumers will like. So all I can say to our consumers and fans out there is stay tuned. There's more coming, and go to Ruger.com, sign up to get our email blasts, but definitely check out this red and know that there'll be more red program guns coming up.
So is that going to be the best way to stay on top of this, is sign up for the Ruger email blast so you'll get an email when there's a new product being introduced on the red program?
Absolutely. That'd be the best way to sign up. Sign up on our website, get our email blast, and you'll stay tuned with the new products we have coming up as well as programs like this.
This is so cool. You guys are just, you know what it is, Rob? I'm just thinking about this. I'm thinking about the people involved. You got Mike Pfeiffer and Chris Killoy, and you got not just two company executives who really do know how to run a business, but you got two guys who are seriously gun geeky shooter guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I know you guys sit around and noodle up and say, well, what would be cool? What would be fun? You know, what can we do? And you go, well, we could do this. And they go, sure. And they understand what, and between that and, of course, the Ruger, what do you call it, the voice of the customer, where you actually listen to customers. What a concept.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, the leadership of Mike and Chris really, they constantly push the envelope on what we're doing at the factories, what products we're coming out with, and how we're responding to our consumers, which obviously a program like this does.
Exactly. Well, it's pretty exciting stuff. Listen, I appreciate you coming in on a Sunday, spending some time with us. This is exciting stuff. I'm telling people, if you go check this out, you're going to want this gun. It's that cool looking, man. Rob, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Have a great holiday, too.
All righty, you too. It's called Ruger.com/red, R-E-D. I was unprepared for how cool these look, honestly. I need another gun like a hole in the head, and here we go. Because these are just, Christmas is a-coming and the guns are coming. Okay, here we go. 866-TALK-GUN. Give me a holler.
Hi, I'm Michael Bain. You know I hate cleaning guns, so anything that makes that job faster and easier is definitely a plus. And that's where Board Tips come in. These reusable, lint-free cleaning swabs make cleaning a breeze. And the tighter-fitting Board Tips do a better job on barrels than cotton mops or patches. Hey, it's a dirty job. Let Board Tips help. To find a dealer, visit boardtips.com.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at galleryofguns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. Galleryofguns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit sigsauer.com today.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. shopguntalk.com.
Making news 30 years ago, the modern internet made strides when 5 supercomputers were linked to form a network. It was the same year ArmScore entered the U.S. market. What a coincidence. Why not use the internet to celebrate? Get big online discounts and rebates on the world's #1 selling 1911s from Rock Island Armory and quality ammunition from ArmScore. Get yours at armscore.com/guntalk. ArmScore, USA strong for 30 years.
All right, back with you. Would you buy a limited edition gun like these Rugers we're talking about? Would that be a worthwhile Christmas present? No. I'm just telling you, these are neat looking. Do yourself a favor, go over there and take a look at them. At least take a look at them. Because it's one thing for you to hear me say, yeah, these are cool looking. It's another thing for you to put your eyes on them and go, oh, I see what he was talking about here. Ruger.com/red. 866-TALK-GUN. Ray called us a while ago on line 3. Ray, thank you for your patience. How are you?
Doing well, sir. That Ruger, I was trying to buy one last night. My internet messed up just as I got on the buy part for my daughter-in-law that's a detective over at Fort Smith.
Is that not a good-looking gun?
Yeah, it's great. And it's her favorite color and everything. I'd like to ask a favor out of you before I ask or make my statement.
Shoot.
When you look at that 22 Magnum that your first guest was talking about, I've got neuropathy and I have problems with my hands now being able to cock an automatic or move the slide. Would you check and see if that thing is lightweight enough that somebody like myself or maybe a lady could operate it? That's a real important thing to me.
That's a good point, because a lot of people do have trouble working the slide, and you've got a 15 to 20-pound spring in there. And I believe, if I heard him right, he said it's a 7-pound spring.
That sounds perfect. And see, I like the idea of using handguns to deer hunt, and that would be legal deer hunting in Arkansas.
Really? Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll check it out.
Okay, what I was going to say, the gentleman that called and talked about worrying about the police forces, becoming the Homeland Police Force and all that. I've been thinking about something like that for quite a while. I've had a lot of things on my mind. I wish I could find somebody that could listen to me and tell me where I'm wrong on a lot of that stuff. But I believe that they're already getting ready to make a big move on controlling the guns. I don't think our military or our police force would make a move on coming in and taking away your guns, but I don't think guys in blue helmets would have a problem with it at all.
Well, let's examine that for a second. Yeah, guys in blue helmets, United Nations, if they come over from another country, they wouldn't have a concept of Second Amendment. But let me also just address something you said. You don't think our police force would do it? I wish I believed that. And I know that there are some police officers who would say, I'm just not going to do that. But it is my firm belief that most police officers, if told this is what we're doing, they would simply go do it. And they would be, because look, here's the thing. Day in and day out, they have to do things where they think, oh, this doesn't make any sense, but we'll do this and we'll let the prosecutor sort it out. We'll let the DA sort it out. We'll let somebody else sort it out. I'm just a cog in the wheel. I'm going to go do what I'm told, and somebody else can appeal it at some other point. I'm just afraid, and I believe that a great many, don't know what percentage, but a great many police officers would say, yeah, this is what we're told to do. And it's already been, at that point, it would have been a law been passed. We would have gotten down the road a long way. And they would be saying, this is what the law is. We're here to enforce the law. If you don't like it, change the law. This is what we're going to do. It's one of the reasons, and I appreciate the call, Ray. It's one of the reasons that, and I know the anti-gunners make fun of this. They always say, oh, you guys are always talking about a slippery slope. I say, well, you know what? If you don't, first of all, you have to, if you believe as I do, that gun confiscation is impossible without registration. Because if they don't know where they are, I don't think they can come get them. Now, obviously, they could go get the 4473s. You could start that way. But it's one of the reasons why we say you simply cannot allow gun registration if you want to stop gun confiscation. Because once they come to the door, it's too late. And you've heard me say this before. If you play this scenario out and you go pretty far down the road, and people are at the door, kicking on the door, beating on the door, ringing the doorbell, and they're here to confiscate your guns, it's too late. You're not, I know some of you say, I'm going to get into a gunfight. Okay, you're going to die. That's end of discussion. You're going to die. Not saying it's not worthwhile. I mean, you could go with the whole model of, well, if each of us takes one of them, and what if the Jews had done that to the Nazis? Yeah, you could convince me to buy into that. On the other hand, are you really going to do that? Your kids are in the house. Your wife's in the house. Is that what you're going to do? That's why we want to stop this before it gets there. That's why we all have to be more involved every day. Not just every year, not just election. We have to be involved every day. If you're not a member of a gun rights group or several, why aren't you? I don't get that. You've got to get involved. We have to stop it now.
Join the NRA via Tom Gresham's Gun Talk website and receive $10 off the regular membership price. Log on to guntalk.com for details. You're listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. Just because we're wrapping up on the air doesn't mean we're done talking about guns. Stick around for the after show. It's our podcast-only version designed to include all the stuff we simply couldn't fit into a regular show. Call in now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, back to Tom.
Absolutely. If you want to join us for the after show, call me right now, 866-TALK-GUN, and we'll get you into that. Let's see here. Let's talk to Josh on line 2 out of Kentucky. Hey, Josh.
Hey, bud, how are you?
I'm good. What you need?
I've got a Rossi trifecta. It's about the same as the match pair, except for it's got the 3-barrel system.
Okay.
Question is, do you have to re-sight in your scope so after so long, or switch out the barrel so often?
If your scope mounts to the barrel on that system, so if you leave the scope on the barrel and you're just swapping the barrels off and on, you should not have to re-sight in.
Ah, okay. That's one thing I was worried about, is if it would come out of alignment after so long.
Shouldn't. I mean, clearly you need to check the alignment, of any rifle after a while. Just double check it, make sure it's okay.
Periodically, right.
Yeah, but in terms of just swapping, if you got like 2 or 3 barrels and each of them has a scope on it, you should be able to swap back and forth, and they should stay sighted in because the scope is simply mounted to the barrel, so shouldn't be opportunity. Now, that's assuming you haven't dropped it on the concrete floor. That's a different issue.
Right.
Hey, Josh, listen, I appreciate it. I got to get Edward on here. He's in Little Rock, Arkansas, too. Hey, Edward.
Yeah, yes, sir. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How can I help you?
Well, yes, I come on the program just a short moment ago, and y'all were talking about some classes of gun carry classes and how to. I didn't catch all of it. I just heard the programs that you had at the.
Oh, okay. Well,
going on.
Sure. The guys you heard, we put out a couple of DVDs. Actually, we've got several DVDs on concealed carry and self-defense, and that's on the internet at shopguntalk.com. That's our name of our operation is Gun Talk. Go to shopguntalk.com. Now, if you're looking for local classes in the Little Rock area, there are a bunch of folks doing that. I just did a little internet search for, I said, Defensive Shooting Class Arkansas, and I get a whole bunch of operations there. And you also have IDPA, the International Defensive Pistol Association. They're operating out of and located in Arkansas, of course, also. So it shouldn't be hard to find a place to shoot there. Now, the guys who were on the interview that you kind of came in the middle of it, it sounds like they're with VATA, VATA, VATA Training Group, and their classes are down in South Louisiana, which might be a little bit away for you. But you can definitely find classes in your area. Shouldn't be a problem. And, we're blessed. We have so many people teaching classes these days. At the same time, it's not a bad idea to do some homework because there are, unfortunately, a lot of people have gotten into teaching concealed carry classes because they like guns or whatever. They may not have had any other training. And I've run into a few, frankly, who think that they are God's gift to firearms, and they scare the devil out of me. And I'm talking about the instructors. So be careful, do your homework, ask for references, talk to some people who've been to the classes, check out the place where they teach. Basically, it's called due diligence. Check it out ahead of time. And don't assume that, if somebody says, oh, it's a great class, I always ask, well, what other classes have you had? What other training have you had? In other words, how are you judging it? What yardstick do you have? If it's the only one you've ever been to, I don't know. 866-TALK-GUN. You can call me right now. We can get you into the after show. In the meantime, if you're going to buy somebody a gun for Christmas, buy them some training to go with it. Check out the Ruger.com/red, R-E-D. Great deals going on right now. In the meantime, do a little shooting, be safe, hug your family, and don't forget to say thanks.